Good morning, church. Today we are talking about type 2, which is the helper. Helpers are awesome people who obviously like to help, they like to serve. But Jenny, why don't you give us a little more insight into the 2?
So twos have a very, very fond place in my heart. Some of my closest friends are twos, and I'm just naturally attracted to those types of personalities. When I originally took the Enneagram test about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, one of my types was two.
That's right.
I didn't end up that way, but I can definitely identify with a lot of the characteristics of the two. So some of the neatest things about the two is that they're really relationally motivated. So their biggest priorities always involve their family, their friends, their church community, anybody that they're really connected with. They are the friends that remember your birthday. They're the friends that remember this one time you had an offhand comment about this movie you loved, and then they set up a movie night for it. They're just thoughtful, caring, very, very connected. One of my very sweet friends is a two, and because she knows I have such a limited diet, is always trying to make me things and going out of her way to buy the ingredients and to do research with recipes. I can always count on her to be thoughtful. So we are easily loved by twos, by those of us that are on the receiving end of their types of connection and relationships. So when they're in health, they know their needs. They can verbalize it, they can communicate it, they can say, hey, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I need, and then we can meet those needs when we know exactly what's going on with them. They're generous to their core with their time, with their finances, with their giftings. As I mentioned before, they're very caring and thoughtful. They're described by people as being safe spaces. They're loyal to the very core of who they are, and they will keep the things you tell them with them, and they really value having that space between the two of you. They also know their true selves when they're at their healthiest. Now, this is a really interesting perspective, because then when we look at them in stress, or we look at them when they're not their healthiest, they can be very codependent. They've been described as manipulative, and still in that relational mode of trying to get their needs met. And they can even fall into kind of the realm of the martyr role of, this person's not serving me. My needs aren't getting met. Why do I do theirs? They need to be needed when they are not taking care of themselves. So if you're a two, or you identify with a two, those are really good things to try and be aware of. If you start to notice those things in yourself, you can kind of err on the other side and kind of self-correct it. When we talk about, this type's deadly sin, we talk about it from pride, which is really interesting because they're such a generous...
helping people.
They're such a generous relational type, but the pride comes from the idea of them kind of expecting the same amount of what they get back and not being willing to communicate that when they're in stress. So really the work of the two is to act without expectation, to give generously that they're so naturally good at, but to not expect anything in return, because otherwise we tend to get let down in relationships. So the work again is, what am I feeling and what do I need, and how do I communicate that with others?
Yeah, and in ministry, we have a lot of twos in our church that are great at helping people, at serving. And the work of the two in ministry is to also address their needs, to let people know when they need help, when they need guidance, or whatever, whatever they can get help with, they need to seek out help too, or else they will start to feel resentment that they're being the one that doing all the helping. Think about like a mom cooking Thanksgiving, and if no one's helping mom make Thanksgiving dinner, then they're going to feel resentful by the time you eat, because they've done all the work. So it's great that mom is making meals that she wants to serve everyone, but mom needs help too. So twos need help, and they need to let people know when they need help, so we can serve them as well.
So the courage to be assertive in communicating our needs is work that all of us can do, but twos especially need to be aware of that.
For sure.
So again, we'll say this every week, we love our twos. Cory and I have very close friends that fit this personality type. In fact, one of our most dearest friends, we have a book study with him every week, and he is a two to his core.
Oh, for sure.
And he is a tremendous gift to us. So to all the twos in our community and outside of our community, we love you. Just take care of yourselves.